stumbled into public health, and I always wanted to work in health, and I think I always wanted to work in public health. I didn't actually sort of know the broader sense of public health. I started off in dental health and worked as a dental therapist for a number of years, and then I wanted something a bit broader. I realised that I wanted to get a bit more involved in more broader health, and so started a sort of a generic health science degree, which then turned into a health promotion major. So I sort of stumbled into it, but what I think really appeals to me about public health is the social justice aspect. I wouldn't have initially named it up as that, but now I know that's really what it is. There's a vocational aspect, if you will, to public health. People do it for reasons that are more than just having a job. If you wanted a job, there's a range of jobs that you can do in health that might be just a job, but I think in public health you really do have that. You need that meaning to the work that you do. You want to have a really good, strong purpose. It's all about ensuring that people have good access to health, are empowered, engaged within their health, and can maximise the health of themselves and their family. I guess that's putting it fairly simply, but it is that aspect, I think, that appeals to me about public health, and keeping that at the front of what you do is really important, I think. So always revisiting that, why are we doing this? For what end are we doing this? Not just having your project goals or your program goals, but what's the core, purpose for being involved in this type of work? So that's what appeals to me.
I think probably my short-term career goal, I'm possibly looking at incorporating some teaching or education focus. So I haven't really had the opportunity to look into it much as yet, but from a very young age I thought I always wanted to be a teacher. And I'm sort of realising that now, that especially in my previous work working with the homeless community of Perth, I've definitely adopted ways in which I can actually interact with those high-risk clientele. And I really do enjoy the opportunity to engage with people and to also assist them and guide their understanding. So I think I'm going to look at the education teaching side and incorporate those health promotion competencies within that as well. But also, I've also considered the possibility of actually going to work out in the country as well, as more on a permanent basis as well, because I've always had that interest ever since of my placement in Broome. There is definitely, because it gives you sort of a drive and a focus, but I think also don't be afraid for that goal to change. It's not something you have to have set for the next 20 years. It's definitely something, like myself, I sort of fell into previous roles, and it's only sort of now I'm starting to realise that teaching and education, I think, is something that I definitely want, an avenue I want to explore. So my career goal is probably going to change once again. So I say definitely, because it does keep you very focused, give you direction, but don't be afraid to change it. If something else sparks your interest, then explore that further as well.
Okay.
To get into public health, I guess I used to be a sprinter. I was actually quite a good sprinter in Victoria, and that, I guess my passion started first of all from a from a personal point of view. I started off wanting to be fit and healthy, and pursued that sporting career. I guess from there I then went into teaching, and as part of teaching I guess I moved more into as a secondary teacher in teaching science, phys ed and maths. And I guess from there I then sort of moved into, once I'd finished my career as an athlete, started doing a little bit of gym work, but then started moving into more adult education through the health promotion sector. I guess I was very passionate about my own fitness and health, but I guess I found an opportunity to use what I learnt through that on a personal level to be able to help people through that adult education role.
Cool.
Well, my undergraduate degree was health science and health promotion, and I enjoyed the course, and my minor was health and safety, and I discovered as I was studying, by third year you kind of figure out what you really want to do, and my passion for health and safety was growing, so I decided to do a graduate certificate in safety and hygiene, and also had a mentor, which was my main lecturer, and she encouraged me and supported me to continue studying and to get work experience. So that was probably the initial motivation. And then when I got my first job, which was quite difficult to get back in that market. I worked in an occupational health clinic, and day in, day out, I saw injured workers suffering from a range of injuries, many back injuries, and just could see the deterioration of their physical and mental health, and decided that it was enough being on the clinical side. I really wanted to get into the preventative side. So that was really the fuel that inspired me to crack into and push myself to get an occupational safety and health position.